Back to schools and colleges. And tonight, ghost kitchens, the solution for restaurants shut down by the pandemic. Chefs sharing kitchens in a takeout revolution.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Tom Yamas. We begin tonight with millions of Americans in the path of multiple natural disasters. That deadly wildfire emergency in California, and now the extraordinary double hurricane threat along the Gulf Coast. Some in the Florida Keys already told to evacuate. In California, take a look. Firefighters are battling hundreds of wildfires sparked by a historic lightning siege. 13,000 firefighters are on the front lines, but it isn't enough. More than 100,000 people have been forced to evacuate. At least 500 homes and structures have already been lost. A sheriff's helicopter took a close look, rescuing 2 firefighters trapped on a ridgeline as the fast-moving fire approached. And tonight, new hotspots have broken out, and more families have been ordered to evacuate. ABC's Kaylee Hartung leads us off tonight on the fire lines.
Tonight in California, nearly 1 million acres scorched. 2 of the largest fires in the state's recorded history raging out of control. This new rescue video showing the harrowing conditions on the front lines.
All right, guys, I'm gonna get down here, okay? All right.
North of San Francisco, a sheriff's helicopter saving 2 trapped firefighters.
Straight up.
Using a 100-foot line to reach them. Flames just 75 yards away.
Yeah, posted it, guys.
More than 13,000 firefighters responding across the state, facing multiple threats.
The erratic winds, the steep terrain, the heavy fuel, the trees that are falling, that's one of the biggest hazards out here.
Resources stretched thin. 10 states sending fire crews and equipment to help.
With our limited resources, we're doing the absolute best that we can. We do have some incoming weather that is very concerning to us, so we just want to make sure that the public is vigilant and they remain out of the areas.
More than 100,000 evacuated. People like Naomi Sakumbi worried about what they'll return home to.
The ground is still hot, so you have to be patient. It's the worst waiting game possible.
Tom, this is just an example of the challenges firefighters are facing here in this dense forest. This fire has been shooting up this hillside. The smoke's so thick, you can't see a few feet in front of you. A red flag warning has been issued for Sunday. There is continued threat of more lightning and gusty winds that could spark more fires. Tom?
Kaylee Hartung on the fire line tonight. Kaylee, you and your team stay safe. All right, we want to turn to that other breaking news tonight, the double hurricane threat. Laura and Marco approaching the Gulf of Mexico, a possible 1-2 punch. Tropical storm Laura blowing through the U.S. Virgin Islands and battering Puerto Rico with 50-mile-an-hour winds. Both storms could become hurricanes, and Mississippi has already declared a state of emergency. ABC's senior meteorologist Rob Marciano, he joins us now. And Rob, time out this double threat, and we've learned there's now been a shift in the forecast.
Yeah, a dramatic shift for Tropical Storm Marco, Tom. We'll get that in a sec. Let's look at these 2 storms. Marco is the smallest one and most difficult to forecast, and Laura's out there. We've got a couple days. But Marco now is forecast to become a Category 1 storm, has some obstacles, but it looks like it's going to now shift to the east and target New Orleans sometime during the day on Monday. But it could hit the Florida Panhandle, potentially western parts of Louisiana as well. And then just 2 days later, Tropical Storm Laura gaining strength in the Gulf of Mexico is likely a Category 1 storm or greater, and then targeting the same areas Wednesday afternoon. Now, we have yet to see how this will shape up as once it goes through Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, and Cuba, getting into the Gulf of Mexico, but we do think we will see strengthening. This could turn out, unfortunately, to be a historic event. Tom?
We'll stay tracking both those storms through the weekend. Rob, thank you. We move on now to the rare Saturday session.